Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another Versus Night. Tonight I will be comparing Body Slam, released in 1986, versus No Holds Barred, released in 1989. So, let's get started on this with the leads. Body Slam stars Dirk Benedict and Roddy Piper. No Holds Barred stars Hulk Hogan and Kurt Fuller. Now, I'm going to start this one off by saying Hulk Hogan has never been a good actor. And whoever thought it was a good idea to give him a starring role in a film needs to get their head checked, because he's just not a good actor.
What's that smell?
Whereas on the other side of the spectrum, on Body Slam, we have Roddy Piper, who is a wrestler, but he also was very talented as an actor. Not only in They Live, but he did many films after that, and he did a couple of films before that. This one included with Body Slam. And the difference between Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper in these films is Roddy Piper is playing a character and actually putting himself in there and playing that character. He's not Roddy Piper from the WWF. Hulk Hogan, in playing this Rip character in No Holds Barred, is basically just doing the same caricature that he had done all those years as Hulk Hogan. So there's nothing in here that where he's playing this character that he feels like he's playing somebody different. He feels like it's just Hulk Hogan. He's just going by a different name in this film. And then you have the other actors in the films with these wrestlers. Body Slam has Dirk Benedict, who I have always liked. Dirk Benedict. I liked him in Battlestar Galactica as Starbuck, and I liked him in the A-Team as Face. And he just always had a cool charisma about him that made him very likable as an actor. Kurt Fuller on No Holds Barred does not have any of that. And this film does him no favors, because Kurt Fuller can act. And he's a really good actor and can play really good parts. This one is not it. This film is so over the top. Hogan is over the top. He's over the top. The movie shouldn't have been called No Holds Barred. It should have been called Over the Top. Although there was already an over the top movie with Sylvester Stallone. So, but there's no question about where I'm going with this one. I mean, Body Slam beats the hell out of No Holds Barred as far as the leads go. Alright, so let's move on to supporting and see if we can get a different outcome there. Supporting cast in Body Slam consists of Tanya Roberts, Kelly Martin, Sam Fatu, Captain Lou Albino, Afa Anoa'i, Sika Anoa'i, Sion Val-Alhi, and Charles Nelson Riley. The supporting cast on No Holds Barred consists of Joan Severance, Tiny Lister, Mark Pellegrino, Bill Henderson, Bill Eadie, Stan Hansen, Gene Okerlund, and Jesse Ventura. So, with Body Slam, we have the lovely Tanya Roberts as the love interest to Dirk Benedict. And she's great in there. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, on No Holds Barred, you have the lovely Joan Severance, who is the love interest to Hulk Hogan. And you can see who got the better deal here. Tanya Roberts gets these really cool moments where she's being romanced by Dirk Benedict. Whereas poor Joan Severance has to sit through these awkward romantic moments with Hulk Hogan. It's unfortunate to watch her having to deal with that. Also on Body Slam, you have Kelly Martin. Very, very young at this time, but she is playing Roddy Piper's character of Rick's daughter. And she is really cute and adorable in this role. I really liked her in this film. And then on No Holds Barred, you have Tom Tiny Lister as Zeus, the main villain, basically, if you will, against Hogan in here. And he's, the way this movie is, it's so over the top. He's just like Hogan in a way. He's just so into this weird-ass caricature. He doesn't get much dialogue. He's just doing little things like, Rip, I want to fight you, shit like that. And it's just, it's a waste of I like Tiny Lister, but this role is not the best of his acting accomplishments. On Body Slam, you have another wrestler in here with Sam Fatu, who was better known in wrestling as the Tonga Kid. And I always liked the Tonga Kid, but I didn't never know he ever acted in anything other than this film. So I think this is his only acting thing. And he doesn't do bad in here. I find it kind of awkward, though, that this film, Body Slam, focuses more on tag team wrestling, whereas No Holds Barred focuses more on one-on-one single matches. There isn't any tag matches in there. And yet, when the WWE was trying to promote No Holds Barred, they brought in Tiny Lister to play Zeus and fight against Hulk Hogan in a tag match. They didn't have him come in and fight against Hogan one-on-one. They had him come in as a partner to Randy Savage, and Hogan teamed with Brutus Beefcake, and they fought each other at SummerSlam. It's just so weird that Body Slam features tag team wrestling. No Holds Barred was focused on singles wrestling, but their promotional stuff for the film was tag team. I guess it was because, Tiny Lister was not a professional wrestler, and him working with Hogan in a one-on-one match probably wouldn't have been too entertaining, because Hogan, if you don't give him a talented wrestler like a Macho Man Randy Savage to go up against, who can really make him look really good in the ring, Hogan's not going to look that great. So, I guess that's why they did it. Also in this film, you have Captain Lou Albino, and he is playing a manager in this, so it's fine. He does basically like Hogan did in No Holds Barred, and he's doing his same caricature that he always did as Captain Lou. And, it's cool. It's fine for that, because he is a manager character in there. And then other wrestlers that appear in Body Slam that are really cool appearances was Afa and Sika Anoa'i, who were the Wild Samoans. And ironically, they were managed at one time by Captain Lou. So they are not actually a part of his group in this film, though. They are working with this Asian guy. They're like this connection group, and they are they like to tear apart cars. But they were fairly entertaining in this film in that small, dialogueless role in here. They work for what they were meant to do in this film. Then on No Holds Barred, you have Mark Pellegrino and Bill Henderson. One is playing the brother of Rip. Unfortunately for Mark, I mean, he's doing what he can in this film, but man. And same way with Bill Henderson. I mean, he's playing like a manager figure to Hulk in here as Rip, and it's just they're doing their best with what they've been given here, but it's so over the top. It's just it's silly. On Body Slam, we also have Seon Val-Ai, and he is basically, you would know him as the Barbarian in the WWF and WCW. And he is playing basically kind of the main bad guy that, with his partner, who is not as well known a wrestler as what he is. But he is teaming with him against Roddy Piper's character and Sam Fatu's character of Tom Tonga. So I liked how he did his role. It was pretty cool. Very interesting in there. On the other side of the spectrum, we get Bill Eadie, who was Axe in Demolition alongside Smash. And it's ironic that you have Barbarian and Axe in two separate movies, because they had a big feud with those two members, the Powers of Pain versus Demolition, and the WWF. But how ironic that they both ended up playing in a movie. And then last but not least, in Body Slam, you got Charles Nelson Riley. Hilarious performance in there. He does a really great job in his role. I really liked him on many of the game shows appearances that he would make throughout the years during the 70s and 80s. Charles Nelson Riley's always been entertaining. And then on No Holds Barred, you have Stan Hansen. And Stan is basically playing his own wrestling persona, kind of like Hogan was. And but he's in this bar just kicking people's ass and having fun. But if the rest of the movie wasn't as over the top, he would be very entertaining because he would stand out. As it is, everything is so over the top that he just blends in, unfortunately. And then finally in No Holds Barred, you got Gene Okerlund and Jesse Ventura make an appearance early in the film. And I think the cameo appearance that we get in Body Slam is a lot better than that, because we actually get Classy Freddie Blassie and the Nature Boy Ric Flair in there in a cameo in the end fight in Body Slam. So I'm going to give this one to Body Slam. I think it has the better supporting cast. All right, so let's move on to story. The story for Body Slam consists of a music promoter who gets into the pro wrestling industry and becomes the manager of two unlikely future champions. No Holds Barred story consists of a television executive makes a wrestler's life miserable after he crosses him. Body Slam is pretty fun and interesting, just because you get Dirk Benedict as his former music promoter here, and he is still trying to continue his career, but he's lagging and he's going down. And ironically, he comes up with an idea to do rock and wrestling. And this was around the same time that rock and wrestling was a big thing, started in the WWF and everything. So it's ironic that this film did that. And hell, a year before, they even had a cartoon series called Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling. So, ironic that I'm going Body Slam, which is about rock and wrestling, against a Hulk Hogan movie. But I really enjoy the story on this. Dirk Benedict he doesn't know much about wrestling at all until he meets Piper's character of Rick, and ends up meeting later on. He ends up meeting Tom, played by Sam Fatu, and he becomes their manager, and they have a clash with Captain Lou's manager character, and he tries to basically stop them from being able to wrestle anywhere, and that's where Dirk Benedict starts the whole wrestling organization, Rock and Wrestling. So it is a very fun and exciting film, and it is just an entertaining film. Whereas No Holds Barred, like I said, is over the top with everything that it does. It feels like Vince McMahon decided to start making a movie about Hulk Hogan, and then he decided, let's just make it a movie. Let's change his name to something else, And basically, everything you see in No Holds Barred feels like it is a storyline in the WWF at the time, and is just being brought to the screen as a movie. And it doesn't age well at all. I remember watching this movie way back when I was a young kid, and I was fairly entertained by it. Watching it now, today, which I did recently, wow. It is bad in a lot of spots. It is just so cringe-worthy in some of the stuff that happens in this, especially writing poor Stan Hansen's character's sister character, and they just keep having her make this weird noise as she talks. I mean, listen to this.
Then you must be looking for the gay bar. The gay bar's across the street.
What the hell is that? Who writes stuff like that? So, yeah, I'm going to give this one to Body Slam as well. All right, so it looks like this is a landslide, but let's move on to direction and see if anything changes from there. Body Slam is directed by Hal Needham, while No Holds Barred is directed by Thomas J. Wright. Now, Hal Needham, before this, had directed some of the most awesome films around, with the Smokey and the Bandit 2, not so good, but Cannonball Run, and many, many other action-packed, race kind of films that were just fun and entertaining. Hal Needham was great for that. In this film, he actually gets a chance to veer away from that and show that he had the talent to do more than just, fun race, fast cars and fun stuff like that in there. And he does a really good job directing this. Whereas Thomas J. Wright, in directing No Holds Barred, I've looked at his credits, he seems like he's just a television producer, so Vince McMahon brought him in here, as he might have been one of the producers on WWF at the time. And he directs this film. And like I said, it just feels like WWF broadcasting made into a film. And it's so over the top. It just doesn't. It's not entertaining. It's not fun like Body Slam is. So I'm going to give this one to Body Slam as well. So that gives our winner Body Slam 4-0. But what do you guys think of these two films? Do you agree with my assessment on this one? Or do you really, really love the over-the-top campiness of No Holds Barred? Let me know in those comments down below. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. As a Dark Knight Fan Plus member, you have access to an area on the channel right now where you can vote for a movie, television series, or ranking video of your choosing. And when I do that video, it will go up live for all Plus members to watch. And I will do another one so that you can vote again on what you want me to do. So it's not just a one-time thing. So, I mean, if you want to help out, get some reviews in here that you'd like to see me do, now's your chance to do that. Well, that's the end of another Versus Night. If you missed last week's Versus Night, check out the link up in here. Or if you've missed any of the other Versus Nights, check out our playlist and see anything that you have missed.